Today's animal adventure on film takes us to David Fleay's wildlife sanctuary, Queensland, at milking time. Not the normal kind of milking, mind you. It's the milking of death adders for their venom. As newcomers, we get instruction from David Fleay on snakebite first aid, just in case we get too close, which isn't likely. Well, here we go. About 10 death adders in this cage, all sleeping in the sun, we hope. To David Fleay, the first scientist to breed the dangerous taipan snake in captivity, milking the normally sluggish death adder is all in a day's work. Even so, he takes great care. The milking. In effect, making the snake inject its venom through a thin rubber cover into a glass phial. As we'll see later, this venom is required for a very special purpose. During the whole delicate operation, David casually chats to us about the characteristics of the death adder. Its very efficient biting apparatus, as he calls it. The killing power of its venom, nearly 3 times that of the Indian cobra. The average quantity of venom it gives at one milking. In this jar, enough to kill 84 sheep. He drops one to the ground so that we can watch it flatten out when annoyed. A danger sign to remember. Death adder is an easy fellow to identify. Short, thick body, about 24 inches long, with a thin yellow tip or spine on his tail. He uses this as a wriggling lure to attract birds, mice, and lizards. 10 adders milked today. The last one's in the bag, thank goodness. While we discuss the next sequence, 2 helpful young assistants, Mervyn and Peter, clean out the cage. David breeds the adders here, and conditions must be just right, hot and dry. In fact, they're found on hot, dry ridges or on well-drained slopes throughout Australia, except in the southeast and in Tasmania. They bury into the soil or leaves and wiggle their tails as lures. Disturbed, this fellow gets under the nearest log or rock. Places to watch carefully when in the bush. Well, the milking's finished, the barn is clean and tidy, and so back to the cowshed they go, with a little assistance. Bare feet, boys. Tut, tut, never take risks. Even though a death adder crawls slowly, he can strike fast. Not quite so sluggish now. Watch out! Phew, we're glad that's over. It'll be 2 weeks before the adders build up sufficient reserves of venom to be milked again. A good milking, David tells us. Enough venom here to kill 800 sheep. It's now left to dry out or desiccate in the sun. Eventually, only fine powdered venom crystals will remain. Now to bottle the crystals. A simple but effective breathing filter turns our scientist into a masked bandit. But it's a wise precaution. Even a few grains of this fine poisonous powder can damage the linings of nose and lungs, causing a type of asthma. And why all this dangerous work by David Fleay and other naturalists? Well, the dried snake venom is needed by the Commonwealth Serum Laboratories to manufacture a cure for snakebite, an anti-venene as it's called. Through a complicated process, in which, strangely enough, man's oldest friend, the horse, plays a vital part, these dried venom crystals will provide the cure or antidote from their own poison. Just like powdered milk, but with a difference. Another consignment ready for dispatch to the Commonwealth Serum Laboratories, Melbourne, where we'll join it to follow the key processes in making anti-venene. At the laboratories, the same careful precautions when unbottling the venom powder. First step is to re-dry the powder, weigh it, then make it up into controlled quantities of liquid venom. Now the horses play their part. They are injected with the venom in doses they can resist. Reacting to the venom, their systems build up chemical substances called antibodies in their bloodstreams. These antibodies fight and neutralize the venom, making it harmless. Safe quantities of this blood with antibodies are then drawn off the horses. Now to separate or isolate the antibodies in pure form from the blood. Here they are being separated in a machine called a digester. These purified antibodies are called the anti-venene. Assays and tests follow to make sure it's effective and safe to use. Once okayed, the final process can take place. Sterilization, removing any germs in the anti-venene. Now the antibodies or anti-venene manufactured by the horse's blood will be safe to inject into a human being if bitten by a death adder. They will then fight and neutralize the venom in that person's bloodstream. The anti-venene is bottled in a sterilized room, fed through to the packing department, and boxed ready for delivery to doctors and hospitals throughout Australia and New Guinea. Each type of snake bite requires a special anti-venene of its own. It's important, therefore, to tell the doctor what snake made the bite. Always try to identify the snake so that you can tell the doctor after you've applied first aid. Best rule of all, keep away from snakes. The end product for the doctor's use, the anti-venene. When you think of it, made possible through the courage of a number of naturalists who have taken up milking, dangerous milking, as a service to the community.